The power of falsetto, a voice that shaped soul and R&B. There was a time when music didn't just entertain, it united. It broke barriers, lifted spirits, and gave a voice to a generation. From the 1950s through the 1970s, soul and R&B weren't just sounds on the radio, they were a movement. And at the heart of that movement, a voice floating effortlessly above the rhythm, soaring beyond the ordinary. The falsetto. It wasn't just a technique, it was a calling card, a secret weapon, and the greatest voices in classic soul and R&B knew how to wield it. So today, let's celebrate 6 of the best to ever do it. Eddie Holman. His name might not be as famous as some, but his voice? Unforgettable. At just 20-something, he recorded Hey There, Lonely Girl, a song so tender, so beautifully sung that it became a standard. One perfect moment in time. And though he never quite recaptured that magic, the memory of that voice, that song, still lingers more than half a century later. Philip Bailey. If you've ever heard an Earth, Wind, and Fire song and felt something otherworldly lift you off your feet, you have Philip Bailey to thank. Whether it was September, Fantasy, or Devotion, his unmistakable falsetto wasn't just a part of the song, it was the soul of it. And when Morris White passed, it was Bailey who carried the torch. He still does. Russell Tompkins Jr. In the 1970s, Philadelphia soul had a sound all its own. And that sound? It was Russell Tompkins Jr. and the Stylistics. His falsetto defined a generation, giving us Betcha by Golly, Wow, You Make Me Feel Brand New, You Are Everything, and so many more. Underrated? Maybe, but unforgettable? Without a doubt. Little Anthony Gourdine. A 17-year-old kid from New York stepped up to a microphone and sang Tears on My Pillow. And just like that, a doo-wop and R&B legend was born. Little Anthony didn't stop there. He gave us Hurt So Bad, I'm on the Outside, Looking In, and Going Out of My Head. And what's more? He still sings today, still sounds just as haunting, just as heartbreaking as he did all those years ago. Eddie Kendricks. The Temptations. Motown royalty. And among them, one falsetto soared above the rest. Eddie Kendricks, the voice behind Just My Imagination, Running Away With Me, Get Ready, and The Way You Do the Things You Do. He made it sound easy, but what he did? That wasn't just singing, that was magic. Though he left us too soon in 1992, his voice? It never really left at all. The number one falsetto of all time? Well, you already know, Smokey Robinson. Before he was Motown's vice president, before he was a legendary songwriter, he was a singer. A singer who gave us Shop Around, Tracks of My Tears, Ooh, Baby, Baby, and I Second That Emotion. Smokey Robinson didn't just sing in falsetto, he defined it. His voice was smooth as silk, light as air, and powerful enough to change music forever. And he did. For his music, for his influence, for the doors he opened, Smokey Robinson is more than just one of the greatest falsettos of all time. He is the voice of a generation,